If you want to have a great lawn, you've got to make sure that things like water, fertilizer, and other supplements are able to reach the grass roots. Now, looking at this section right here, you might think things seem pretty good, but in fact, I've got a real thatch problem. And as we start to look at this machine, you can see how much thatch is actually coming out. And take a look at the end result. This came out of just a small section of my lawn. And that's what this video is all about. It's about dethatching, power raking, some people call it scarification, and they're all a little bit different, but the goal is the same, to break up thatch in your lawn. And in this video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to dethatch your lawn that fits every budget and every skill level. This is our first option, and it's the least expensive, but it doesn't mean it's bad. This is a special rake called the Groudskeeper II. Now don't confuse this with the rake you might have in your shed. This thing is very unique and it's very different. And as we zoom in and look closer, you can see that this is about 20 inches wide, and those tines that it uses are made very differently. They're a thin kind of wire that helps you cut through the grass in a way you've never experienced before. And as you can see, as I pull this through, a lot of material comes up with the least amount of effort. So if you want to dethatch and your budget's low, this is a great option that can make a real difference in your lawn. And if you've got a small space, this might be all you'll need to get the job done. Next up, we've got a machine made by Husqvarna. It's a power rake or a dethatcher. Now this has an engine, which means you need to put gasoline in it to run it, and it's a dedicated machine, so it doesn't do anything else except for dethatching. And underneath the machine, we can see what does the work. Now this is a series of spring-loaded tines, kind of similar to the rake that we looked at previously, but these spin around and they have a little bit of give to them, so that this particular tool doesn't damage the lawn. It really does rake it to pull that thatch to the surface. Another benefit of this machine is this blade. Now this is a flail-style blade, and this is often used for dethatching as well, but you can see those blades, they're a lot thicker and they're a lot more aggressive. And the other downside of this machine is that putting this blade in is actually quite a task, and it takes a while, and it's not really the most fun thing to do. Here's just a few basics about how you operate the machine. That lever that I'm pulling is what lifts the machine up and down, because when you want to push it around, you want the machine in the high position, but when you're going to use it like this, you want to lower it down. And you can adjust the height with that knob in the upper right that allows you to control exactly how far those little spring tines are going to go into the grass. Now you should know that this is not self-propelled, and it's not really hard to push it, but it does take some effort, but you can see that you do get that thatch out of the lawn, which is the point of this. And so this is a powered machine, which is good, but it's not self-propelled, and if you notice in this video, all the thatch and debris is just coming up and sitting on the surface, which means you've got to go around afterwards with your mower or rake it up. So this machine is not quite as easy as you might think to use, and generally if you're going to do this job, you've got to plan almost an entire day or longer. And this brings us to the top of the line option in this category. This is the Swardman reel mower, also known as the Edwin. But this is a new category, and it's a combination machine. Now a lot of times combination machines don't do anything well, but it's just the opposite in this case. And as we remove this box in the front that is actually a collection box, we can see that this unit is fitted right now with the dethatching or scarification blade that will allow me to dethatch my lawn. And here's a close-up of the blade system, and you can see this thing even has a handle on the top, because these are cartridges or cassettes, if you want to call them, that can be interchanged in the machine for different jobs. So right now, this machine is set up for dethatching, but I can just as easily put a real mower blade in here to cut my grass as well. Huge plus about this design is these little spring tines. Now the other machine had them as well, but they were much thicker. This does a better job because, like the Groudskeeper II, it's like you've got hundreds of those little tines all in one unit. And what this means is it's going to be gentler on your lawn. Another big advantage is the fact that this thing has a collection box. This grass collector fits right on the front, but it's not just for grass. When I use it for dethatching, all the debris is going to go right into this, and it does fill up often, but I'd still rather just empty this out than have to go back with a mower and do 2 times to pass over the same area. Another unique advantage is the ability to set exactly how high or low you want the machine to run. So if you're going to mow your grass, you might mow between 1 inch or 2 inches, but for scarification or dethatching, I set the machine down to about a -1/2 inch so that it would go into the soil a little bit further. And here's just a front shot of the machine running so you can see what those blades are actually going to do. But the real test is going to be the material it removes on the lawn. Let's start the demo of the Swardman mowing system, as I like to call it, because the machine is a combination unit. Now I've left the grass box off so that you can get an idea of how much material this machine is actually pulling up out of the grass. Now remember, this is not cutting the lawn. Those little rakes are pulling all this material out from beneath the grass blades, so you're getting thatch, uncut grass blades that are just sitting there, and other material, things like pine cones and sticks, get pulled right up to the surface. Now with the grass box installed, all this stuff would be getting collected and you wouldn't have to make a second pass. So this machine is a great design in how it does this job. Now I was very surprised at how well this scarification cartridge worked. You can see the amount of material coming out of my lawn. I was shocked because the lawn looked pretty good to me, but what it pulled out was lots of pine needles, pine cones, sticks, even a couple of small rocks were brought right to the surface so that now the grass is going to have a better chance to grow well and thrive. Look at all that material. That stuff is smothering your grass underneath, so even if your lawn looks halfway decent, those little bits can really block the absorption of water, fertilizer, and other good things that you want your lawn to get. Now so far I'm really impressed by this Swardman unit. They're certainly not cheap, but if you're going to make an investment in a quality piece of gear that can cut your lawn and do other functions as well, it starts to make it a little bit more of a good choice depending on your situation. So hopefully this video gave you some good information about a few different ways to dethatch from a rake to a middle rental unit all the way up to the top of the line Swardman if you've got a great lawn and want to keep it that way. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and comment below for more videos coming soon.